Christmas Eve prime rib. 4-bone. Sorry, not a prime rib. I was corrected by that friend of mine on Facebook. So, rib roast. So, Christmas Eve rib roast. For a friend of mine who had to have it on Christmas Eve. It's the only thing I'm cooking today. So, yeah. Of course, as soon as you get your hands messed up, you automatically think of what you forgot to bring to the prep area. So I specifically asked for a prime rib, a rib roast cut from the. So here we go. Asked for the rib roast cut from the chuck end, just because typically the ribeyes are a little better that way, and you get. Not sure how that's coming in, but hopefully you could see that nice marbling. So what I do here is I'm going to cut these off because I want to trim up the top side of these a little more before I could get a good bark. And a bark that will stay through the cut. There's a lot of videos out there with people leaving this fat cap on, and when they do that, they put this nice bark on it, but as soon as they cut, this fat just rubs off and the bark just falls off. So to prevent anything like that, I'm going to just take my knife here and I'm just going to come underneath the fat. I'm just going to trim. Some of it is loose, some of it is not. So just gonna trim it up a little bit, especially this loose stuff. We just want to get down to where you can see the meat. We're not trying to disturb the integrity of the meat at all. Again, we're just trying to get this cap removed. See how a lot more of the meat is now exposed? So when I put the olive oil on, you're going to season that up, and the rub's going to stick very nicely. You can kind of see on this back end how thick it is. It may be thick in some places and then not in others, so just be careful. Obviously you don't want to gouge out any good meat. Like I can see that there's fat underneath that. Take that. I'm excited. I'm going to be cooking this in the Masterbuilt GF560 gravity fed cooker with post oak as the wood, lump coal as the fuel source. So you can see this right here. You definitely want to get underneath that. I don't know the fancy name for it besides silver skin, but just kind of get underneath it, come across. There you go. My understanding, it is kind of, it's what holds muscles together. And it will break down eventually. So the meat place, mine, already separated this for me. So I thank them kindly for that. Again, oh, by the way, this is my first time filming something on a new camera I got. It's just a little action camera. I don't really know how things are going to come out. Obviously, if you're watching this video, things came out well enough to publish. This is just some organic extra virgin olive oil, and then right rub. I really like the way this stuff turned out on the last one. So we're just gonna come in the middle here. Just season this up. Put that flat back on. So now I'm gonna retie that. Get rid of this fat. I'm also using an external microphone with this setup, so I don't know how well that's gonna work. But if you're seeing this video, it must have worked out semi-good. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is take my thrust, I think they call it, whatever. So basically, one per bone. One per bone is the rule that I go by, and this is my second time doing this. So, one per bone. I know there's a lot of fancy ways of doing this, but I'm going to do it the simplest way I've seen out of all the people do it. Sorry. So, just take it. Again, this is going to help its shape. I think being a fisherman, I would have more fancy knots in my array of knot. Look at that. Oh. Rookie mistake. Thought I cut all these to the same. Obviously harder to do with gloves on than was purposely thought. It's going to also help you cook your meat cook evenly. So doesn't have to be perfect. Just want something that's going to hold. Butchered that. Alright, sorry I'm not used to that microphone. Okay, so now you take the extra virgin olive oil and just get it all over. Some of us cheat, use a spray. Well, just this oil is going to help a little bit with color. Any kind of binder you want to use. I go lightly on the bottom because you're not really going to get much penetration through those bones. Just lay it on evenly. It's kind of hard to do with this seasoning because it looks to have so much different size and the grains you're using in this seasoning, but make it work. All right. Here we go. So So the gentleman that I am cooking this for, I sent him a YouTube video on how to slice it. I think that's pretty important. I said, Johnny, you might want to watch this video. You're paying a lot for a piece of meat. You want to make sure the final product is that or better of what you expect. So, here we go. All right. There we go. Sorry, my breathing's a little loud. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Anyhow, there it is. We're going to come up here. There we go. Try to stay out of the light. So, alright, I'll be setting up the Masterbuilt 560. I will be using whole lump coal. It's gravity fed. Put coal in here, light it down here. It's got a controller over here. So, okay, here we go. Show you how I set this up. Quarter cubes, hold on coal. Nope. The plate that sits on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, well, you can see it, but this plate is going to come in here. Sorry, there we go. So this plate's going to come in here. Slide in there, put your lighter cube thingamabobber in there. That. So what I'm going to do now is, up in the chute here, I'm going to put the charcoal. Just dump it in. Probably going to see some fall through. It's okay. So I just took a whole 8 pounds of lump. This lump isn't really what you would call, a little bit falls through. You just take it and put it back on top. This lump isn't really big as far as the pieces. So what I'll do here is I'll take a Weber cube, and you just want to set it on this little ledge in here. Kind of force it in, or you can push it up. It doesn't take much because it's a operated with a controller. Once you get a little bit of fire going, you're good. Let me see. I don't know if you can see inside there. I'll take you inside. Now, those are going to fall, probably. Oh, as I speak. It's okay. You don't need much to tell you the truth. As long as you get a little bit lit. I can just close that off. That flame will shoot up. I don't know what that little thingamabobber's for, but let's tighten it up. Yeah. Alright. So we'll let that catch a little bit. You can see it in there. Take it back in. You can see it. There we go. Okay, so that's gonna do its thing. Meanwhile, we'll turn the controller on. Once you get a couple minutes of that burn, turn the controller on. Set the temp 225. what I'm doing there is holding the trigger down. What I'm going to do is put this at 275. Inside, what I'm going to do is, these have two sides to the grate. You have a smoke side and what they call a sear side. So what I'm going to do is put it on the sear side. Sorry, smoke side first. Sorry, I'm not going to cook on these grates. So what I'm going to do is put the bottom on the sear side. Get some water in a water pan. Hope you see that. I'm going to cook up here, smoke up here, and then when the internal temperature of the meat gets to about 225, I'm going to pull it off. I'm going to crank this thing up to 600 degrees, and I'm going to sear the meat off on the sear side on this bottom grate. Okay? I'm going to let that do its thing and get up to temp. I'm going to get some water in my water pan here. I'm purposely leaving the camera running because I want to show you guys how long it takes for this thing to get up to cooking temp. Be ready to cook. So, I'll leave the camera running as long as I got battery. Oh, the other thing I forgot to do, I forgot to remove these. These are blockers. If you don't remove these, you're not going to get the airflow. So, I always forget to remove these. Let's see. Alright. Let me get my wood chunks. So, last couple smokes. See, I got some smoke residue. Alright, here we go. Set this bad boy to 500. You can see, you get the flame going. Here's the prime rib. After smoking, we're just going to sear it off. So, trusty thermopen, don't want to overcook it. That's hot. It definitely gets hot enough to sear. So again, this was with a whole lump coal. Definitely gets hot enough to sear. finish it. Shut that down. This camera, here we go. Alright, final product. Okay, so I just want to recap. Did the prime rib in the 560 here. Ended up taking a little longer than I thought, but it's alright. Took me right up to 2 o'clock. I cooked it 275 for the first like three hours. Ended up kicking it up to 300 the last hour. And then I kicked it up to 500 to sear, and wow, this thing gets hot and it gets searable. So definitely impressed with that capability. So anyhow, very good success with that. Just gave the prime rib to my customer, so I'll hear back from him later. Anyhow, 560. It's a good little, it's a good versatile grill. Low and slow, fast and hot. What you need it to do, it's going to get it done. Just don't trust the app.